Alrighty, quizzes. So I'm thinking I might have done something like maybe we got to the end of getting ready for Algebra 1 because this is week 6 of Algebra 1 and it looks like we are doing the first 2 quizzes in multiplying quadratics. So let's make sure we did equations, inequalities, units, linear relationships, functions, exponents. Oh, okay, getting ready for quadratic. So yeah, when I saw these, I said, it might be better to do quizzes 1 and 2 in multiplying. I think that'll be a good idea and that you'll get it. Okay, so let's do, even though this is the actual Algebra 1, let's do it. You know, we got nothing to lose because you're just going to post in the organizer if you can't get it, and then you'll know you got to pay attention during the year. So you see this rectangle here, and we know the area of a rectangle is base times height, right? So they give us the height is 2, and the base is these 3 terms put together. Be adding those 3 terms. Okay. So we multiply to get the area. And so we're going to multiply this number times these numbers. So 2 times 5x squared, we multiply the 2 and the 5, it would be 10x squared. 2 times negative 2x would be negative 4. 2 times negative 2x. And 2 times 3, well, that's 6. So the answer is those terms on the inside added together. 2x squared minus 4x plus 6. And then we can, so this is the same type of a question, only they didn't give us a rectangle, but we can make our own rectangle. And in fact, I always do when I teach this in class. Also because you see this in biology in the Punnett squares. So I'm going to put this one on top, this one on the side. So negative 2h, and then 9 is going to go there. 9h will go here, and negative 2 will go there. Then I multiply my base and height. So 9h and negative 2h is negative 18. Now make sure you make that h squared because there's 2 h's. This would be 4, positive 4, h. 2 negatives make a positive. 9 and 9 is 81, h. And then this one is negative 2 and 9 is negative 18. Notice something. These are like terms. Do you notice that? And so 81 and 4 is 85. So my final answer is negative 18h squared plus 85h minus 18. Pretty cool, huh? Standard form of a polynomial. So let's talk about that. Standard form, exponents are in the descending order. I think that's basically it, right? Yeah. So that's what you got to know. All right, so there you go. They're all in standard form. All of them have the highest exponent first and so on. So he's getting ready to say something, but you know. All right, you can do that one. You can do it. I know you can. Oh, better talk about these nomials. Monomial. That means one term. Binomial, 2 terms. Trinomial, 3 terms. Polynomial, 4 or more terms. Oh, degree. That is just the highest exponent. Okay, so this one has a degree of 2. This one also has a degree of 2. This one has a degree of 2. This one has a degree of 3 because the exponent is 3. So which one is a monomial? These two are monomials, but this one has a degree of 2, second degree, and the coefficient, the number in front of the variable multiplied by the variable is 3. Some good vocab there. Make sure you have it all down in your notes and go for it. Post in the organize. Oh my gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now we got to do quiz 2. Getting ready to call it a day. Well, you can do this one. Make your area model. You can do this one. Make your area model. Factor. Let's talk about this one. Factor is just multiplication backwards. So if you look at this, this should look like your answers to the ones that I just did, or I just skipped. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the area model. And we are going to say, like, where would the x squared, which box would it be in? You should notice when you're multiplying, that first top left box always ends up with a squared term. And the constant term, the one with no variable, ends up in the bottom right box. And these two boxes, they always end up being like terms. So their combination of those, that's where we get that 10x. You can always set up these trinomials like this. And then what we want to do is solve the puzzle, figure out what would be on the top and the side. That process is called factoring. So let's talk about it. What would be here and here to make x squared in the first box? X times x is the only thing that makes x squared, so that has to be there. But now those two spaces, we have some options because the two numbers multiply to 24, right? So what numbers multiply to 24? 12 and 2, 8 and 3, 24 and 1, 6 and 4, so factors of 24. So which pair do I choose? I know which pair I choose. I choose 6 and 4. Do you know why? Because out of all of those, they are the only pair that will add to 10x. That would make this box 4x, this box 6x, and it works. So what is the two binomials? It is x plus 4. And what's the other one? X plus 6. Isn't that fun? Now, this one looks a little harder. So I need to tell you rule number 1 of factoring. Rule number 1 of factoring. Always look for a GCF before using area model, which is what I just did. That thing is called the area model, the boxes. But you notice that these three terms have a factor in common. What can I divide all three of those terms by? I can divide all three of those terms by -2. I can divide that one by -2, and I would get x squared. I can divide this one by -2, and I would get -10x. And this one by -2 would give me a positive 24. So we do that. We divide the terms, if we can, by the GCF. And then we factor the inside. Then we do the area model, which is this, what I just did in the first one. The x squared there, the 24 there. This time it's a -10x. So how would that work? This, check it out. I'm thinking like this, -12 and a +2. That would get me -10. But it would also give me -24. So I don't want to use that. Thought I was really onto something there. What about -6 and -4? That would work, right? Okay, so then let's factor it. -2, and then x minus 6, x minus 4. Think I got it? I got it. Which expression is the result of factoring the expression below by taking out its greatest common factor? So what can I divide these by? This is a good question to ask because you should notice we can divide them both by 10, but there's more. They both have an x, so I can divide them both by 10x. Then they have that x in common, don't they? So then that would make it x plus 5. So I see that is C, isn't it? There we go. All right, now you try, and that would be great that you would get some practice factoring before starting Algebra 1. Such a good idea.